Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to talk about a new MMORPG called Embersort. As you know, I'm a big MMORPG fan. I have played MMORPG since I can remember, and so I always love to talk about a new MMORPG because you never know, maybe this is going to be my new main game in the future. You never know, and I'm always excited for new games. So this is a new MMORPG by a company called Bright Star Studios, and they announced this game in 2018 October. Funny enough, we are in October right now, so that basically means this game has been announced exactly 2 years ago. What you see playing in the background right now is also some pre-alpha footage, so don't worry. I mean, if you think anything looks bad, anything like that, it's definitely gonna change. I mean, it's pre-alpha, but still, I think what we see in the background right now looks pretty good. So I'm actually pretty excited to see where this is going in the future. So, Embersort is a cross-platform, player-centric, free-to-play fantasy MMORPG. That's a very long title. You have to create a character, pick a home region, and venture into the mysterious world to prove your worth in action-packed classless combat. Defeat monsters, bosses, and other players, or explore the world as a peaceful forager of goods and rare, making a name for yourself as a talented refiner and craftsman of weapon and armor. From combat to mining, fishing, woodcutting, and more, everything you do increases your skill level, which unlocks new advancements, increased efficiency, or new abilities to cast. So basically, that's like the resume of the game. When you like look up the game, this is what you get, like boom in your head. This is our game. This is what you get when you play the game. So beside of that, that's basically like the intro to this new MMORPG. I think we should like dive into like small topics of the game, and then we're gonna end up with some of all the best questions they have answered on the FAQ. So let's go to the first topic. That is probably the most important one. Will this game have rewarding end-game content? So the rarest items in Embersort are cosmetics that you acquire through participating in in-game PvE or PvP objectives. New cosmetics are introduced monthly, and they all have probably scarce supply and an item history detailing the epic feats they have partaken in, making each cosmetic truly unique. Cosmetics can be worn much to admiration of other players, sold in-game for pixel, or traded outside the game on secure marketplaces, making participation in in-game content a truly rewarding gameplay experience. So it basically sounds like the items you actually grind for in this game, like for the end game, is cosmetics items that will make you look badass. So that means if you have done some really cool in this game, you're gonna have to get some skins that really makes your character shine or looks really awesome, so people can see that guy, he's been going through a lot of things. You know, I assume like that. But of course the game is also going to have items and gear and so on. So yeah, we'll come back to that. So the next thing we're going to talk about is endless activities. In Embersort, you can do exactly what you want whenever you want. Instead of being locked to a specific class, weapon, or crafted profession, you are in complete control of your own journey. You can pick up metal refinements today and start your training to become the fiercest melee warrior tomorrow. It's all up to you. From woodcutting, fishing to smithing, combat, and harvesting, each of your many skills increases in level the more it is trained. Unlock new advancements such as increased efficiency, new items to craft and equip, new abilities to cast, or resources to harvest. So, I mean, it is an MMORPG, and that's why we are allowed to take this MMORPG and, like, you know, put it next to another MMORPG. And I'm just gonna say this game has some very close things together with Albion Online. I mean, they have no classes, both the games. Both games is gonna have like skill levels where you level up in the items you're using, if you're gonna use that armor or that weapon. And it's like, you know, the same camera So I think the game, I'm not sure if the developers of this game actually have got inspiration from Albion Online, not sure, but these games have some, alike. But still, I hope Embersort myself, it's going to be more PvE focused than Albion Online. That game can be a bit too much PvP in my opinion. So in this game, you're gonna have 4 unique regions to explore. Starting your journey in Embersort means picking a region to become your home in Fanabus. Each region has a distinct nature biome where certain resources naturally thrive and are more easily accessible than in other regions. And while you can traverse the entire world and explore everything Tanabus has to offer, your home region is where you spawn when you die, and it's where you'll start most of your epic adventures. Each region is split into Kingship, Wilderness and Outlaw Territories, each of which offers unique gameplay objectives from camp control PvP to epic open world boss battles. And the 4 regions we're gonna get is called Solarwood, Duskeron, Ediso, and Severin. You can go to the website and you can find each of the regions, and they have like a long text of what about each regions. But that's not really what we're gonna talk about here. You can dive into that yourself if you want. So this game is ruled by you. It's basically ruled by you. Yeah, you I'm talking to right now. Kingship territories in all 4 regions of Embersort is controlled by a community of 1,344 landowners. These landowners decide which building, creatures, resources and NPCs these landowners decide which building, creatures, resources and NPCs to spawn on their own parcel of land, and all of it is accessible to every Embersort player. This creates an exciting and ever-changing world full of adventures for everyone. The bravest players will also fight over the control of camps found in the dangerous free-for-all PvP Outlaw Tutorials. Control and protect the camp and you will be rewarded with a rare cosmetic. While the camp is under your control, you decide which NPCs to spawn in the camp, which can be accessed by yourself, your friends, your guild, or everyone who dares to stop by. So this sounds pretty interesting that they have these kingship tutorials with 1,344 landowners where they pretty much each of them can have like their own land, control what's going to be there and kind of change the game. And it sounds cool that we also get these outlaw tutorials where people can basically fight and kill each other and control each other's territories. It sounds pretty cool. You probably now ask, is this game fair and competitive? And well, yeah, I mean, Embersort is a free-to-play MMORPG the way free-to-play games should be made, with no pay to win. Yes, they had to turn the traditional MMO monetization model completely upside down. They don't sell loot boxes. They don't. Actually, they say we don't sell loot boxes. We don't account bind your cosmetics, and there's no VIP system and pay to win. This makes the game entirely competitive and skill based, which the most skilled player will always win. So yeah, it sounds like the game is real, only you can basically only get stronger by playing the game and be good at it. You can't just buy power. So no power for money, if you can say that. And now you might have a question about where can I actually play this game? Well, yeah, where can you play this game? And Embersort can be played in an instant directly in your browser. Yeah, you heard right, your browser. Without the need for large download time consuming patches or through their desktop client. No matter where you play, you will get the exact same experience in the future. Embersort will also be accessible for cross-platform on mobile devices. Your Embersort character is persistent across different server regions as well, which means you can play with your friends anywhere in the world. No matter if you log in from Europe, the US or Asia, you'll continue with your same character in same large universe. I'm really interested to see if they're gonna do the same as Albion Online, where everyone is on the same server and everyone will be playing with 150 ms, so everyone will have like a 1 second delay, or are they actually gonna make so Europe, US, and Asia people is playing on their own server, but if you change server, you will still have your character over there. It's kind of what I hope, but I don't think that's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be where everyone is together and there's gonna be some kind of network connection setup, something like that. So the game is like more fair, probably. So that was like the introduction to the game. What is the game? You probably should have a feeling of what the game is now and what it's all about. And I think the next step is now that we have to take some of the FAQs they have on their website and discuss them and talk about them and see what we think about them. So the first question I found that I thought was very important for us all is Embersort PvP or PvE oriented? So basically, is the game a PvE game or PvP game? And basically, like if you take World of Warcraft, it's probably like 70% PvE and 30% PvP, and Albion Online is probably like 80% PvP and 20% PvE. So it's like, so where is this game? So the developers said Embersort is rich on both PvP and PvE. Outlaw zones are free for all PvP and PvE areas, where you travel to collect the rare resources, slay high-level monsters, or fight other players. Point of interest PvP to conquer and protect camps and outlaw zones will see you teaming up with your guild, group of friends in fierce fighting against other players. But be careful, dying in an outlaw zone means losing most of your gear, much to the joy of your opponent. I don't like that. I don't like that sentence. Means losing most of your gear. What does that mean? Does that mean all my gear? Does it mean half of my gear? Does it mean only my boots? What is most of your gear? You have to say either you lose all your gear, you lose your feet, you lose your boots. Is there like a percentage chance for I'm losing some gear? It sounds like these outlaw zones is basically when you die, you lose all your equipment. That makes you stronger. But you maybe keep your cosmetics, something like that. I don't know. They are ending it like this, so that's a big question mark for me. In wilderness and kingship zones, you gear up to help your friends defeat mighty open world PvE bosses, or venture into the dangerous world as lone wolf to defeat thousands of monsters and beats this with your trusted weapon and abilities. If you prefer PvE, you can acquire even the best items through resource collecting and crafting, but for those daring to engage in PvP, player versus player, the rewards are plentiful, making the risk worth it. Yeah, so it sounds like you can either just craft the best items in the game, or you can go into PvP zones and basically kill very strong monsters, players, and get gear. This is a plus this game has, because in Albion Online, if you want to have the best gear, you still need to go to the crafting places and the dangerous PvP crafting places and get resources from there. Basically, if you want to craft the gear, of course you can just play in the low level zones and level up, but off topic, another game. But still, this sounds pretty cool. I like that, because sometimes when I introduce a game and I tell them, well, if you want to do endgame, you have to do PvP, and they're like, no, then it's not a game for us. So I hope this game is really supporting only PvE also, so people who doesn't like PvP is not getting afraid of it. The second question I picked is, which classes are there in Embersort? And as you probably already know, but let's just state it one more time, there are no classes in Embersort. You're never bound to a single weapon type or playstyle. They want to use a bow for the next hour, go for it. Want to switch back to your sword and shield for some melee combat? The choice is yours. The more you use each weapon type, the more you level it up, which unlocks new abilities for that weapon type. So basically, do whatever you want, but every time you use one type of weapon, of course that weapon type is getting stronger. The third question is, are there servers in Embersort? There's nothing like a teleportation load screen that can throw you out in the immersiveness of an MMORPG Luckily, there are no loading screens in Embersort on world. I was saying online. Embersort is an entirely open world. We build our own fancy server infrastructure from the ground up to ensure that you can run around in the entire world without being annoyed by loading screens. But not only that, we also avoided splitting the player base into server silos that prevent you from playing with your friends. We do of course have Europe, US and Asian data centers, but no matter where you live, you will have the options of playing with all your friends from around the world at any time using your existing characters and account. If you connect to the US data center from Europe, you will of course experience slight delay. Yes, that is so important, Embersort. You are already on this point here, you are like throwing Albion Online in the ground. Because I hate in Albion Online that everyone is having 100 and 100 or 150 ms. You know, you can just feel that the game is like, I can just feel whenever I click in Albion Online there's this little slight delay, and it just, you know, when you play the game you just kind of ignore it, but sometimes when you fight a boss and you move out of the area but you still get hit, you can just like But this is so important that we're gonna have our own data centers, so we're gonna have a complete connection without any delay. But if I want to play with my US friends, I can do it. There will be a delay, but I can play with my US friends. Thank you, Embersort. That is so important for me. You just saved my day. Yeah, that's so cool. So cool. Question number 4 is officially launch. Well, when is actually the launch of the game? And official launch is scheduled for 2022. So that's, yeah, basically, I mean, we're almost in 2021, so it's basically 1 year and 2 months. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not far from now. Then we get some time to play some Shadowlands, Core Punk, other MMORPGs, and then when Embersort is coming out, it will be fresh. That's totally fine. I mean, a lot of other MMORPGs is coming out very soon, so I think it's fine. They're like waiting a bit. Alphas and beta testers, private and later public, will start in late 2020 and 2021. I mean, it's already almost ending of 2020, so I guess that didn't happen, unless of course they still have, you know, November, December, so it could still of course happen. The question number 5 is Embersort will release on PC first? Well, actually, don't know what the question was, but the answer is Embersort will release on PC first, accessible from both Mac and Windows directly in your browser or as a standalone client. After launch, we have plans to start working on mobile crossplay. It's the exact same game and same account, just playable on mobile. Our vision is to support as many platforms as possible over time. So I like that you can either play it in a browser, you can either install it. I'm probably going to install it 100%. But you can also play it on mobile later on. That's cool. I like that. It's a big vision to have. This one is very important. The question number 6. Which weapons types are there in Embersort? There are 3 weapon types: melee, range and energy. Within each type there are a variety of different weapons like one-handed sword, two-handed sword and etc. For melee and likewise for ranged and energy weapons, the more you use any of the weapons within the weapon type, the more you increase the level of that weapon type skill. So it reminds of other MMORPGs where you can like use any weapon type, but of course the more you use it, the stronger it gets. But I like that, you know, it's like you probably have like axes where you can have like a one-hand axe, two-hand axe, probably a dual-wield axes, and the same with sword, one-hand sword, two-hand sword, dual-wield axe swords, probably like that. And then you have an eject weapon that probably like mage casting. I kinda they haven't said anything about it, but I kinda hope also there will be some kind of a tank healer DPS system in this game. That would be pretty cool, that you can, if you can play like a damage tank healer, They haven't said anything about it, but I think the next question here is pretty much saying that there is kinda. So the next question is, which types of gear exist? There are 3 types of armor: heavy plate, medium leather, and light cloth. You can mix and match these different sets to fit your preferred playstyle. Each armor type provides a bonus appropriate to the particular type. This is something we'll elaborate on at a later time. Okay, they're gonna talk about it later, but yeah, it's gonna be a system that we know from our game. Question 8 is, I only have 10 questions, so we're almost done. Question 8, which skill will Embersort feature? Which skills will Embersort feature? Progression in Embersort is based on advancing your skill from level 0 to 100. Improving your skills allow you to craft better gear, equip better weapon, collect better resources. The following 16 skills are scheduled for the full release of Embersort: mining, lumberjack, fishing, skinning, harvesting, smelting, tanning, weaving, woodcutting, armorsmithing, weaponsmithing, firemaking, cooking, melee, ranged, energy. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, you will have plenty of things to craft in this game. So the next one is a bit long, but I think it's very important for us to understand the game. Question 9 is the end game meaningful? And I kind of want to know, because I'm not sure they're gonna answer my question, but I kind of want to know, is this game only open world? Is there no dungeons in this game? Is there no raid in this game? Is there no battlegrounds in this game? Is it just pure open world? Or do we actually get instant based dungeons? Because I love that. But yeah. So let's see what the answer is for that. Endgame content in Embersort has to be meaningful and exciting for both PvP and PvE players. Endgame PvP and PvE is something we spend a lot of time designing, and something we'll continue tweaking even post-launch based on community feedback. For player versus player players, Embersort endgame content is competitive, no pay to win, skill based, being good beats having great gear. Okay. And high stakes. If you die, you lose most of your gear. If you're good at PvP and win the endgame fights or Outlaw Tutorial camps, you will be rewarded with scarce limited edition cards that have unique history, detailing the epic feat that led you to acquire that card. And once you acquired all cards in a collection, you can unlock its cosmetic item. These cosmetics can show off or even sell to other players. We're not holding you back. Okay, so it sounds like this game is not gonna have bind on pick up. Basically every skin or every item you get in this game you can sell. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. For PvE players, the world of Embersort is filled with unique monsters and fearless beasts. However, if you are among the PvE elite, you will be fighting every day to become the first to kill the open world bosses that spawn at random locations throughout the world. Kill the bosses and it will reward you with scarce limited edition card that has a unique history detailing your legendary battle against the bosses. Once you... Okay, I think we know what you mean. Yes. So both PvP and PvE can give you these cards. When you have all the cards for a collection, you can get some kind of cosmetics that makes you look very cool. Okay. I think we understand now. So I think this confirms that the game doesn't have dungeons. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say that because I'm not gonna make any confusion about this game. But yeah, that sounds cool. The last question is, how will the world look like? How will the world look like? The world of Ember is exciting. Well, the world of Embersort is exciting and ever-changing, ensuring a slightly different experience every time you log in. The world is split into 4 major regions, of which you can pick one as your home region during character creation. Each region consists of 3 types of territories: Kingship, Wilderness, and Outlaw. Outlaw territories are the most dangerous and are found on the edge between 2 regions. These territories are home to rare resources and high level monsters. But be careful, anyone you run into will be able to attack you. It is also in these territories that you fight over the control of outlaw camps, which reward you with rare collectible cosmetics and allow you to place buildings only accessible by you or your guild and friends. Anyone can destroy your camp, so watch out. Wilderness territories are primary PvE areas and are rich in resources, monsters and NPCs. You can attack players from opposing regions if they wander into your regions. Wilderness areas and start collecting resources. You can attack players from opposing regions if they wander into your regions. Oh, so it's gonna be like Horde Alliance, but in this case it's like 4 regions. So it's gonna be like Horde Alliance, Horde Alliance. Okay. Wilderness areas and start collecting resources. Open world bosses also spawn in the wilderness and kingship territories. Get them first and slay them for rare cosmetic rewards. Okay, so Outlaw Tutorials is like everyone versus everyone. Wilderness Territories is like faction versus faction. And then we have the last one, Kingship Territories, are strictly for PvE and resources collection, NPCs, quests, and etc. The Kingship Territories are controlled by the community through a total of 1,344 landowners, who decide what to place on each parcel of the Kingship Territorial land. NPCs, building, monsters, etc. Owning a parcel of land is not at the core of Embersort gameplay experience. It doesn't give you in-game advantage, no access to content other can else access, and such is not for most players. But it is the very core of the world design. We wanted to create a world that was to a large extent controlled by the community of players as a whole, and those 1,344 parcels of land was what fit the size of Embersort world. More kingship land would mean the open world will become too large. What the vast majority of players will get out of the landowners feature, however, what the vast majority of players will get out of the landowner future, however, is a world that is ever changing and truly alive, instead of one that grows boring and stale over the years. It's the world that adapts to the players at any given time, and one that is just controlled by one group of game developers. Or not, okay. But by over 1,000. Okay. So we're gonna have Outlaw Tutorials, that is basically everyone versus everyone, but also high risk. Then we have Wilderness, that is like PvE, with a lot of PvE monsters, and the world is controlled by developers, and also with the Outlaw. And then we have Kingship, that is basically a very big land that is controlled by the players. Sounds cool. I like that. So everyone, that was basically Embersort. We just talked about Embersort on Whoosh. We have been talking for 30 minutes now. That's a very long time. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a new MMORPG coming out. Well, should be out in some kind of test very soon. And release is planned for 2022. So it's going to be exciting to see where this game is going to head off. I mean, personally, this sounds like a game that is perfect made for me. I'm a really big fan of Albion Online, but there's a lot of things in Albion Online I would like to change. And this game sounds like it has some of those changes I need. So I am welcoming this game with my arms. I'm gonna hug the developers. So I'm looking forward to this game, definitely. So thanks for watching, everyone, and let me know in the comments what you think about this game. I'm very interested to hear what you think about all you just heard. Let me know what you think. And also, thanks for watching, everyone, and well, see you in another episode. And before I leave, they also have a Discord server. You're very welcome to join. Go in, chat with the people. They are very nice and friendly and answer your questions. And well, if you want, let people know that I sent you. It's always fun. So thanks for watching, have a nice evening, and see you in another episode. Peace out.